Hello YouTube, welcome back. Another video intro where I'm on my knees at the back end of the bike, although not actually over the rear wheel this time, which is a good thing. Things have moved on. We left you with the brakes done, they all work now. So we're entering the phase of the final build-up. The chain guard, I didn't paint. I just touched in the bit where I'd welded and polished the chrome as much as I could, and I think I prefer it looking with slightly cruddy chrome than having silver, so that's how it's staying. I checked the points, they're okay, the bike started to run fine. Checked the air filter, which is now off, that's fine. I'm now fitting the fuel filter and pipes to the carb, and then I'll move on to the tank. Gearbox level, I was wondering how to get this plug off. The slot's really quite bad, and it looks like somebody's had slip pliers or something on it already. And then I remembered that I'd made a little special tool for Vespa small frame hub bearings, and lo and behold, it fits. So I checked the gearbox oil, topped it up slightly. I'm not changing it yet. I need to get the bike on the road, everything warmed up, and then I'll do an oil change for all three oils. It's also very clean. The gearbox oil is absolutely clean. It's proper gearbox oil. It stinks like gearbox oil, and it's very, very clean. So it can't have been changed that long ago. Which, when I know and mentioned before, the oil filter was also very, very clean. It's a drop-in one in here. I think this bike was serviced not long before it came off the road. I've had the plugs out there fine, cleaned them up, put them back. So basically, I need to put the exhaust on, which I'm not going to show you because it is a bolt at the back, bolt in the head. Although, having said that, the rear head, the bolt feels slightly loose on its threads, slightly stretched. So it'll go on for the minute with the bolt, but I'm going to look for a stud so I can then attach the stud more securely into the head and then just use a nut to secure the exhaust to that, which I think that's a better solution anyway, thinking about it. But anyway, that's the plan. I'll have to work out where to get them from. So that's it. We've got a few bits and pieces to look at, which we're going to chop and change through the video because they are small things. Most of them are dead straightforward, just a reversal of pulling it all apart. So it'll be tank back on, which is a nut and two bolts plus some pipes. Seat back on, all the electrics work. I've started to assemble some parts for the indicators. Let's get it on the road. Now the final thing on the frame is the chain guard. Now I knew it was split, but I wasn't aware just how badly. So I had to weld it down there, weld it across there, and weld it on the back as well. So that's all going to have to be ground out. I was hoping when the black sticky mess was removed that the chrome would be okay, but with that welding there and that bit all ground away there for whatever reason, I'm not entirely sure why that was so badly damaged, and there's lots of flaking cruddy bits as well. I'm afraid this is going to be like the shock absorbers and the rear rails. I'm not going to get this back. So I don't want it in black because I don't like it. So I'm going to grind this off, try and fill in these imperfections a bit. I'm not going to go mad, but try and make them look a little bit better. And then it's going to get sprayed silver and lacquered. Because again, I can't imagine many people getting down on their hands and knees and checking the finish on my chain guard, to be honest. So that's the plan. So I'll bring you back during that process. Right, before we fit our exhaust, that's the state of the gasket when I took them off. Now despite the carbon around it, I didn't hear a blow. I mean, that could be because the pipes were so loud that I wasn't hearing it, but you know, it didn't seem to be blowing. But anyway, it's a shocking state. So I was I bought these, which were sold to me as James fire rings, I think they said. James rings anyway. However, once again, they didn't come in any retail packaging, so I've no idea whether they are James or not. I'm hoping they are, but unless you get the actual original retail packaging, you'll never know. Right, the exhausts are on. Front one's a bit of a faff. I had to move the floorboard out of the way to get it on. The bolts have tightened up fine in the head. I was a little bit worried, as I just mentioned, but they seem to be okay. The only thing I have noticed is the flange doesn't fit really square to the head. I mean, that must have been how they were when the bike came. And I don't really see how you can adjust that without bending the flanges. So I'll just have to wait and see. Once the tank's on, I'll run it, just make sure there are no blows. If it's blowing, I'm going to have to come up with some idea. I did notice that the damaged rear exhaust manifold gasket, which I showed earlier, was of the type I fitted now, and the one on the front is a different type. It appears just to be asbestos, soft asbestos type material, but noticeably thicker, which might explain why I now have a gap. I don't know. I'll have to see. If not, I'll have to put the old one back on and see where we go from there. Hopefully it won't blow. So next job is stick the tank back on, connect up the fuel lines, put the seat on, top up the engine oil. I think that's it for the minute. So the petrol tap was a bit mucky. I missed a bit there. So I've just cleaned it off. There's no sign of it leaking. It's just covered in old crud basically. There's PTFE on the tape on the threads. So presumably I'll have to use that again to make sure it's a good fuel tight seal. So that's got to go on. The two caps are in reusable condition. Chrome's not bad. I'm not sure they're original, to be honest, but you know, you can't have everything. So we have a vented one. It's got this hole there and a hole there, and a non-vented one. So vented in the right hand side, I believe, non-vented in the left. So let me go and find the seals. Right, there we are. I don't know what make they are. Don't really care, to be honest, as long as they seal. They're not in any sort of retail packaging, so they might have just been stamped out by anyone anywhere. But anyway, as I say, I don't really care. As long as they work, I'm not bothered about brand names. So, with them in place, it's got to seal better than they were previously. Right, the final thing for the tank is the bib, which I'm not a great fan of this one, to be honest, but it's what I've got and I can't afford to change it yet. It's a bit dusty, a bit old, so I was thinking about what I could possibly use to smarten it up a bit, and then I thought, well, it's leather, so a bit of boot polish. Now, whether this will be any good, I don't know, but as I say, it is leather, so I don't see any reason why it shouldn't improve its looks. So let's give it a go. The American Eagle's strange on this one because I'm assuming it's American Eagle. It's got flowers engraved in behind it, which doesn't really fit the macho feel of Harley Davidson and American Eagles, but never mind. I don't care. But I think it looks better. The strap's fossilised, but it was never attached when I took it off anyway. And at the front I'll just use a cable tie to hold it together, because once everything's in place it's completely outside. So there we go. And I shall keep an eye out and see if there's anything newer and more attractive available. But for the minute, that's going to do. Right, tanks on. New caps are on with the new seals. I lost the nut that fits on there, so I've just got a temporary one at the minute. I'll try and get some sort of dome nut or something to tie that up. We've got our warning lights, although I have just noticed that we seem to have lost main beam again. Which if you watch Shovelhead Electrics 3, you'll know that's the bane of my life. This isn't attached, but it wasn't before. Really, just put the seat on, which is in itself a problem, because I've now realised that where I welded the washer on, I should have welded on a nut underneath, so I could screw in from the top, because I can't get my hand in, so I'm going to have to take the bolts out the back of the mudguard, lift the flap, and try and get my hand in with the flap up. But, you know, these things are sent to try us. So we're very, very nearly there. Once I sort out the seat, it can get some petrol in it, start up again, ride it outside, and give it a really good wash. Bit of a polish, check without any exhaust blows. So the next thing is sort out the seat. Well, I decided to go for chrome on the chain guard, as hopefully you can see. I don't know, let's see if we can take you down. Will you wind in a bit? Yeah, you will. Might be slightly dark, but yeah, the chrome's marked, and I had to paint. Chrome's marked there, and I painted in there. But I think that's better than painting it silver. The shocks don't look too bad, but I'll just pan you across. Just take it back out again. And take you up a little bit, slowly. So this side don't look too bad. The primary case is still in black, which I'm not overly keen on. Apologies for the background noise, it's a sunny day, there's not a lot I can do about it. It's also quite bright sunshine, which is lovely, but difficult when you've got the camera on. So I'll take you on the other side and show you the other side. Right, there we are. The white walls are now white-ish. There's still some blue on them. It's very hard to get it off. I've scrubbed them repeatedly. It's still quite hard. It looks quite nice, reasonably tidy. Certainly a lot better than when it first arrived, that's for sure. Everything now works. The headlight problem was down to the crappy new switch, and the horn has an issue which is down to, you've guessed it, the crappy new switch. Not a happy bunny in either case. Both Taiwanese, I believe. But anyway, disregarding that, it now all does work. Brakes work, everything works. Everything's up to MOT standard. Paintwork looks all right. There's a few little marks in it, but you know, it was done in a domestic garage. There's not a lot I can do about it, really. I think it looks tidy enough. The engine needs detailing yet. I'm working my way through removing the black, as you can probably see. So I'll just show you that it turns on. think the baffles have quietened it down a bit and it's given it a slightly different note. But you know, the seat needs redoing, tightening at the back, but it's okay.